Hi everybody, JB here with a 10-minute preview of the predictions for the Premier League season. We start with Chelsea, as you can see. They've just won the World Cup Championships and a great shot in the arm for English football winning that. I think it's going to be tough this time round. It depends what they can attract and where they can get in. They're playing Champions League. They may struggle to get in it this time, so I'm going to say 7th place for Chelsea. Brentford, I think if they lose all their big players, I can only see one way for them. They've took a risk in appointing Keith Andrews as their manager. It's a massive, massive risk. I think a lot of their good players may go, and Benro might still go to Manchester United. We just don't know. If Man United can sell a few players and they can afford, apparently £70 million has been quoted in some newspapers this morning for Bryan Mbeumo. If he goes, then I think it depends on how Keith Andrews can attract. I mean, he's brought in Jordan Henderson, but is it enough? In my mind, probably not. I think it could be the year that Brentford finally go. Manchester City, still I think Pep's got a bit of rebuilding to do. They didn't do themselves justice in the recent Club World Cup, but they should be okay for top four. I honestly think they'll finish third. Brighton, another solid season. They've lost a couple of players, most notably João Pedro to Chelsea, who shone in that World Cup final against PSG. I think they'll do all right, though. I think I don't think there'll be anything spectacular. I think they'll finish mid-table. I think they'll finish about 12th. Arsenal, it depends whether Gyökeres, if they bring him in, can he fire on all cylinders? They need that striker. They might need more than the one striker. If they have a bad injury list, then I can't see them winning much. I think they could win a trophy. I think they're capable of winning an FA Cup or something this year. I wouldn't put it past them winning it. As for the league, I think they'll finish second again. I can't see the eventual champions being caught the way they're spending at the moment, but I think Arsenal will do well. They'll definitely finish in Champions League again, and I think they will finish second for the third year running. Nottingham Forest, I think to achieve what they achieved last season, they were in the Conference League, now they're in the Europa League due to the complications at Crystal Palace. I think they might finish outside Europe this season. I think they're capable of top 10, though. There's no doubt about it. And I think Nuno is a very, very, very good manager. And I think he'll do okay. I think Forest will finish in the top 9. Tottenham, well, they've sacked Ange and they've brought in Thomas Frank. Now, I think Thomas Frank is a very, very good manager. He's proved it for the last 2, maybe 4 years at Brentford. He has a very good nucleus. If he can bring the players that he wants in, maybe they could have an outside chance of Europe. It's going to be difficult, of course, but I think they'll just finish outside the top 7. I'm afraid 8th place for Tottenham, but they'll have a much better season. Wolves, I think they'll be okay. A lot of people saying that they're showing possibly to be relegated. They've lost Cunha, of course, to Manchester United, but they've got a big wad of money for him. If they can invest that wisely, then I don't see why they shouldn't finish in lower mid-table 13th. Fulham, hard one to call. I think Marco Silva is a really good manager. I don't want to sack Fulham off here in any way, but I just have this funny feeling that one team, as you know, they had a great season last season. Don't get me wrong, they were on course for Europe and all that. Then they lost the cup game at Crystal Palace, and I think the season went downhill from there on in. Will there be an hangover from that? I'm going to predict there is. I think there is a surprise this year. I think two West London clubs are going. I think Brentford could go, and I think Fulham will join them 19th. Liverpool, no doubt at all in my mind, they're going to be the champions. Look at what they've spent. Yes, obviously the sad death of Diogo Jota is obviously bad and it's tragic and everything like that. But You know, they played Preston in a pre-season friendly on Sunday and played really well. I think they will want to win the league. They will want to win as many trophies as they can in Diego Jota's honour, in memory of him. Arne Slot, this will be the true test of his managership now, because he's won the league. Now the tough test arrives. Can he do something that Klopp didn't do and defend the league title? I'm very confident that Slot can do that. I think he's bought very well. I think he's bought really well, and he's added very well to the squad that he's got. They've got a lot of spending power, and I can't see any other team than Liverpool being champions at the end of it. Merseyside rivals Everton, I think they'll have a decent season for once. I think they'll do okay. David Moyes, safe pair of hands as manager. They're going into a new stadium. It's sad that Goodison Park's being left behind, but thankfully its legacy is being retained by the women's team. I think they'll have a good season, actually, Moyes' boys. I think they'll finish 10th. Manchester United. Now, obviously, Ruben Amorim now has been given a full summer. They are chasing Bryan Mbeumo, as I mentioned earlier in the video. If they can get him in and get a couple of quality faces, I think they will. I think they could finish top 6. I don't think they're going to make the same mistakes as last year. I'm going to pump for them in 6th position. Newcastle United. Eddie Howe, what a season he had last season. I can't praise the man enough, because, you know, English manager winning a major trophy. They won the League Cup deservedly so. They finished in the Champions League places. Okay, they got through on an account of a bad decision going against Aston Villa. Will the Champions League get in the way again of the top 4 ambitions? Probably this time. So on that basis, I think Newcastle will just miss out on the top 4 and finish in 5th place, but they'll have a good go. Their rivals, Sunderland, I think they'll struggle. Yes, they've spent a few quid, but can Regis de Vries blend them in time? Playoff winners, statistics show that playoff winners go down usually after one season. What bottom? Aston Villa, Unai Emery, it's Europa League this time. I think, obviously they'll miss Rashford, but if they can get Watkins playing and get a good striker in, I think they can make the top 4 again, and maybe win the Carabao. That's my prediction. My team, Burnley. Now, people are going to ridicule me for the position I'm going to have them in, because I'm a Burnley fan. But the Kyle Walker signing, Jakob Brun-Larsen coming in, and a few others could only strengthen. The question is, can we keep Brownhill? Can we keep Trafford? If we can keep those players and then add to it a bit more, get a decent striker, that I don't think there's any reasonable doubt that we can finish outside that bottom 3. I'm going to go 15th for my lads. Crystal Palace, European football, it's going to be tough, but I think they'll be okay. 11th place for the FA Cup winners. West Ham may struggle again this season. Kudus they've lost Kudus. Can they replace him with anybody quality? It's hard to say. 16th for them. There we go. Bournemouth, I think they'll struggle again this year. I think they will. I think their best chance of getting into Europe has passed them by. They've lost Kirkes and they've lost a couple of others. Can they replace them? Only time will tell, but as far as I'm concerned, Bournemouth fans, I think you should prepare for a relegation battle. 17th. And finally, last but not least, Leeds United. I think they'll be okay. No doubt about it. I think they've got a very good manager there in Daniel Farke. He knows every inch of the club. They've got a good nucleus. If they can add a bit more bite to that, then I can't see them. I cannot see them not finishing outside. I think they'll finish well above the bottom 3, so 14th place for me for Leeds. So that's my Premier League final predictions for 25-26 locked in. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.